I'm Natalie Pudim, the designer of Warrenguard. Warrenguard's a tabletop role-playing game about dragon riders and found family. It utilizes a unique system that blends aspects of belonging outside belonging games such as Wanderhome with the Fate Accelerated system by Evil Hat. From the mechanics up, it's a game about the fantasy of being a dragon rider and the reality of how found families form in adversity and carve out comfort in a dangerous life.
I'm Abby, the art director of Warrenguard. My favorite part of being art director thus far has been seeing the artists fall in love with the game as I describe it to them, and myself falling in love with the art that I get back. One of our scene designers, Shan, immediately threw out ideas for how a wheelchair user would ride a dragon and what that art would look like. Our dragon artist, Tony, is an absolute marvel. The sketches I received of our gold dragon are full of life, personality, and make me want to be in this game. It has the perfect archetypes for an adventuring party, the way the theatrical form Commedia dell'arte has phenomenal archetypes for ensemble performances. And if I said that wrong, don't come at me. It has an intriguing setting with world building that leads to players weaving their characters' backstories into one another, which you want that in a game. I haven't played a game that so easily builds out a foundation that has as much depth as this one. I see it as a captivating game as well as the next big theatrical game form for AP performers.
Warrenguard started as an experiment in exploring modal forms of play in tabletop role-playing games that would inform and complement one another. My first game, Sapphic Space Pirates, was a game of belonging outside belonging, so I was familiar with that system. I was playing Brian LeBurge's Ace Adventure, which uses the Fate Accelerated system, when I realized Fate and Belonging Outside Belonging have very similar game economies and layer on top of one another. Both use tokens, spent as a way to benefit your character, taken as a downbeat for your character. Fate, however, introduces dice, so it was a matter of finding a type of story where you were in full control of one aspect, but only partially in control of another. Riding something with the immediate thought, and my love of Dragon Riders of Pern as a child was next. Warrenguard is a love letter to the 70s and 80s fantasy novels I devoured from bookstores as a kid. The fantasy of skimming the clouds with a dragon who shares your mind.
You share your mind with a dragon. Mind meld with a dragon.
The last missing piece that made Warrenguard come together was a theme that is common in games I write and run. Found family. I've been lucky in my life to have found strong bonds with people who couldn't be more different than myself, and to be a family with them, if only for a little while. They say to write what you know, and the 5 core writer archetypes in Warrenguard are all explorations of those real-life relationships I've had.
Found family? Found family? The thing that people are trying to insert into all other games? It's built in. Built in.
We're partnering with Dice Dungeons to create enamel fate dice specific for this campaign, as well as tokens that feature a dragon rider on one side and the Warren, your floating castle in the sky, on the other.
Tokens. Dragons. Dice. It's the word you all want to hear. Dice. We got them. Fate dice with dragons.
So to start with, we have the $20 tier. At $20, you get a digital copy of Warrenguard. At $35, you're going to get a physical 100-page paperback of Warrenguard delivered to you. At $70, you're going to get not only the paperback of Warrenguard, but a set of 4 enamel fate dice from Dice Dungeons, as well as 24 tokens. So you'll be ready to play right out of the box. At $500, we will run a 5-session game for you and 4 other friends at your schedule, when works for you, so you can try the game before absolutely anyone. Lastly, at $100 for our brick and mortar local game stores that we love to support, you can get 5 physical paperbacks of the game shipped to you. We will be verifying to make sure you're a local game store if you order at that tier, but we are so proud to support our local game stores.
And make sure to pledge because you don't want to miss our stretch goals. We have stretch goals from Sebastian Yue, D'Angelo Murillo, Maisie Veslak, Super Dylan, and Draconix.
You can also, to any pledge, add on for $16 a set of the Dice Dungeons Fate dice, for $24 a set of 24 tokens, or for $15 a copy of my first game, Sapphic Space Pirates.
Lesbians in space, who doesn't want that?
We're looking for $5,000 for this campaign. The game is already written and has already been through editing. We're just looking to cover more art and layout to make this game as gorgeous as it is fun to play.
As the art director, I am looking into your eyes as someone who may pledge for this. Please do. If we go and we hit stretch goals, we can get more art. And as art director, that fills my heart and soul that I can send out money to artists like I'm Oprah handing out cars. Let me live my dream and fund us twice as much. Give us $10,000. Nat will never ask her. I will.
Yes, all the extra money that we raise is going to go into being poured into art for the game and to be making this game better. The game is already fun to play. Playtesters have loved it. We're just looking to make this game beautiful on the shelf as well.